Yes, the sequel has arrived. A few months ago, I beat a level in Super Mario Galaxy without jumping. And today, I decided to do it again, but in Super Mario Galaxy 2, to see if I can beat a single level without jumping. But first, what is a jump? In this challenge, I'm not allowed to do normal jumps, wall jumps, or backflips. And I'm not allowing myself to jump off of these poles, which will be important later. However, what I am allowed to do is spin and get bounced up and into the air by enemies and bouncy objects, since it is not Mario pushing off the surface, but rather the surface pushing Mario up and into the air. With that being said, I started the challenge. I fired up a new game of Mario Galaxy 2, and the challenge began. I played through the intro normally since it would be impossible to complete it without jumping, and I met Bowser, who had just destroyed a city of innocent people and kidnapped their leader. But since I'm only doing one level, each and all our subjects may never see each other again. Anyways, after watching that cutscene, I began the first level in Sky Station Galaxy. And immediately it seemed impossible since I wasn't able to get into this pipe. But I theorized that maybe the Goomba could knock you into it if you tried hard enough, so I kept going through the level trying to find something that would stop me from completing it. And again, something was blocking my path. This level was seeming more and more impossible, but I kept going with a little bit of hope, until I finally arrived at Dino P. Piranha. And this fight gave me more confidence, since the whole thing can be done without jumping. All you have to do is get behind him and spin. But after beating him, I was met with the grim fatal reality that it is impossible to grab this star without jumping. So I grabbed it and completed the level. And I moved on, where I was met by a guy who made a starship out of Mario's face? Okay, which meant that I could travel to new levels. But I realized that Sky Station Galaxy had one more star that I could try to get before starting a new galaxy. And upon arriving at the level, something made me hopeful. These green balls. These are some of the most useful things in no jump challenges, as they can not only push you up into the air, but they can also be bounced off of without being considered a jump. And I had good reason to be happy, because I was able to use it to knock myself into the pipe. And from there I was able to kill the Chain Chomp and get the key, and use the launch star to get to the next planet. All without jumping. The next planet seemed simple at first. I just had to walk into this opening and use the gravity to my advantage. And it was, until I met this guy. He kept knocking me back with his rocks. So eventually I decided to jump over him so I could scope out the area to see if the level was even possible. After that, I was put onto these giant elevators. Luckily, it was easy to navigate between them with some spins. Then you can just walk into the launch star and get to the next planet. These first flip switch panels can be lit up without any jumps, but the next ones are much more difficult. Not only do you have to spin off the edge to get enough height, but these cosmic clones are chasing you at the same time. However, I knew that this planet would be possible, so I used some jumps to easily complete it to see if the final planet would be possible. And upon arriving, it seemed like this would be the hardest one yet. You can use this ball to knock you onto the pole, but as I said earlier, you're not allowed to jump off of it, so I needed to find a new way to get to the top. But when I was messing around, I discovered a way to get the star. This level was seeming more and more possible, so I decided to try the level again. And when I got to this planet, I discovered something. You can crouch to avoid this guy's attack, and then spin to kill him. I also found out that the cosmic clones die when they run into you, so I could kill them and not have to worry about them. And when I got to the final planet, I found the last piece of the puzzle. You could spin onto this railing and then spin up onto the green ball and then get bounced to the top. And with that, I knew how to do the whole thing. So the only thing left was to do it. But there's one more rule that I haven't mentioned yet. I have to do the whole thing without dying. And if I die, I have to restart from the very beginning of the level. So I began the level again. I went through the pipe, got the key, and finally arrived here again, where I was able to kill this guy and get to the launch star, where I arrived at the cosmic clones. And while trying to avoid them, I fell off the edge. So I restarted the whole level, and this time I knew I had to be more careful. So when I got to this blue guy, I killed him and made sure to collect some coins to refill my health. That way, I would have enough health to kill the cosmic clones, which I did no problem. This made the flip switch planet much easier, and even though it took a long time, I was able to complete it, bringing me to the final planet, where I spun onto this railing, got onto the green ball, and bounced to the top. Then, I killed the piranha plant and unlocked the star. I dodged the bonsai bill all the way back to the star, where I was knocked onto the railing and finally spun in the air to get me enough height to collect the star, finally finishing the level without ever jumping. Thanks for watching, see you later.